Hey, what's up YouTube? It's a beautiful Saturday morning. I just got back from a hike and I felt like shooting another video on kratom addiction. In this video, I want to expand on some of the topics I talked about in my previous videos, and I also want to talk about why I'm not pro-ban. There's a lot of people that use kratom that are coming off of opiates, coming off of heroin, and a lot of chronic pain patients. And generally, my videos aren't really directed towards those people. My videos are more geared towards people that are trying to quit, that are struggling with kratom addiction. I acknowledge that there is a responsible use out there for people that can handle it. You know, there's people that are coming off of heroin, and obviously kratom is a safer option. I'm not shaming kratom users, and I'm not calling for banning it. We don't ban alcohol, so why would you go around telling someone that they can't take a substance? If you've ever done any kind of street drugs before, you know that prohibition doesn't work. So to take safe access to a substance away from people that need it or could benefit from it seems kind of stupid to me. So for all you pro-kratom people in the comments, don't get it twisted. I'm not calling for the banning of kratom. And for everyone out there, I hope that you don't call for it too, because it does help people. But if you're someone like me, I haven't done opiates in many years. So why kratom was a problem for me was I picked it up thinking that it was safe. So I figured it was a safer option for managing pain and unwinding. But, you know, the old opiate addict in me came out and I totally abused it. And if this substance was made illegal, then all these people wouldn't have access to it. So it's not for us to say that it should be banned. I'm also an alcoholic, and I don't go around to liquor stores saying that they shouldn't sell liquor or beer. I don't shame people for smoking cigarettes or smoking weed or doing whatever they're gonna do. My sobriety is my responsibility and no one else's. And you should remember that. Like, no one likes that sober guy who's like knocking drinks out of people's hands or lecturing people. Like, fuck that life. You don't want to be that guy. Like, just look out for yourself. Like, show people in your grind. Like, show people that you're doing better. Live by example. You know, you don't need to chew other people out because not everybody has a problem. But for all you people that do have a problem, guess what? You do not have to take this shit anymore. All of us have had struggles growing up. A lot of us have had trauma. A lot of us are trying to get better. And I think a lot of us were trying to mask all of our problems by taking substances. And for a while, kratom worked until it doesn't. Oftentimes we go through life on autopilot and we're just so used to doing what we do. So if we're taking kratom every day, it's like an emotional band-aid. It's like how we feel better. But step back and examine yourself. Really examine yourself. Like, maybe even take out a sheet of paper and write down all the pros and cons of consuming kratom. You know, in the first 6 months or something like that, I felt okay. I didn't notice a lot of side effects. Maybe even the first 8 months. But definitely as it crept on a year, I started noticing a lot of bad things going on. Are those cons on that list outweighing the pros? Then you probably should stop. I've talked to a lot of people, hundreds of people online and in person who are coming off of this stuff. We all come from different walks of life, but every single person I know who struggled with this substance, who got off, has had a better life off of this stuff. I mentioned tapering in my first video, and if you're new to quitting kratom, go back to my first video and watch how I explain how I got off of kratom. If you're experiencing these negative side effects, you can't keep telling yourself that this is okay to do. Like, it's a bullshit emotional band-aid and it doesn't work in the long run. Like, we'll tell ourselves all these lies like, I'll feel better if I take this, or somehow my life will be better. That's bullshit. You know all those nasty side effects that are going on, all those anxiety attacks every 4 to 5 hours that go by, and you have to take it or else you're gonna start kirking out. Dude, that's slavery. Don't be living that life. After you finally get kratom out of your system, that first month is super important. You're gonna be tempted to use again, and this is when you really need to be strong. I suggest watching a lot of YouTube videos. I suggest being in recovery groups. I suggest reading about others quitting kratom on Reddit, online, and elsewhere, and just keep reminding yourself and see other people that are going through the struggle. I've mentioned a Facebook group, and I'll share the link again in the description. Every time I go on there, I'll read people that are freshly quitting kratom, and I see that they're in absolute hell going through this stuff. And it's good to remind yourself of what it's like to go through that, because that little evil voice is going to come into your ear and say, hey, maybe I should take it just this one time. Just this one time will be fine. I can do it once. Yeah, don't do that, because that's going to lead right back to where you were and you're going to be a junkie again. So during that first month, it's going to be a real period of adjustment, and I suggest starting to work on healthy routines. Eat right, sleep right, get some exercise, take vitamins, make sure you're getting all the nutrients that you need to feel better, and start looking out for yourself more, because so many of us didn't do that while we were stuck in active addiction. It's going to take quite some time to feel better too. So for me, I'd say the first 2 weeks were hell. It was a struggle to get through, but after that month point, I started feeling a lot better. But it's during that next month after that, when you feel good, that you have to remember that you can't pick up, because even though I'm not pro ban, there's always going to be kratom shops. You can always buy it online. You're going to see it, and you're going to have to be strong and not pick up. Before I got sober, I thought of clean people as all like Jesus freaks or weirdos, or I thought that you couldn't have fun. That's a fucking lie. Like, everything in my life is so much better. I'm more comfortable in my own skin. I'm less anxious. I'm willing to do something like this. I would never do this before. I'm willing to talk to women more. Like, I'm better at work. I'm getting shit done. Like, just everything in life is so much better. And you can do that when you're off of this stuff. Like, when you're on the sludge and you're taking it every day, it's like you're hypnotized and you're just stuck in life. Not everyone's going to agree with me on this point, but I think our modern society is fucking gross. We promote so much weakness. We promote the easy way out. We promote vice. We promote just... Look at everything. Everything's all about promiscuity, like sex, all about drinking, getting fucked up and having a good time. That's the only way to have fun. Yeah, it's bullshit. You don't have to live that life to have fun. Be the different person. Be the stronger person, because you're better than that. All these companies want you weak and dependent and hooked on pharmaceuticals. They want you hooked on their junk food. They want you to be eating McDonald's and all these processed shit. You can do better than that. You can be strong. You can thrive. But it's up to you. No one's going to do it but you. So get on it. And once you're free of active addiction, that's when you can finally address all the other issues of your life. Because when you're free of all those emotional band-aids, you can look in the mirror and face yourself, and you can actually get to the root of the problem. And I know that sounds scary, and when you're in active addiction, it is scary. But I'm telling you, on the other side of things, it's so much better. Like, if you're not happy being stuck where you are, it's a sign that something's not working and that you need to change. Don't be that person that lies to yourself and says, oh, one day I'm gonna cut back and I'll cut back on kratom and maybe one day I'll stop. No, that's bullshit. Pick a date and fucking do it. It's like that person who keeps on putting off a gym membership because they're like, oh, well, I don't want to get too buff. That's bullshit. You have to set your foot in the door and work every day at that shit hard to get buff. So it's some kind of bullshit excuse to say one day I'll do it, one day. Like, no, you have to do it. It's like people that say they're going to stop smoking and then they're buying cigarettes every day still. It's like you have to change to make the change. So remember, that little voice in your head that's telling you one day is evil. That's the voice of addiction talking. Don't listen to it. It's bullshit. Pick a date, put it on the calendar, and stop this shit. You can start a taper, you can start a cold turkey, and you can get off of this stuff. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I'm not anti-kratom for everyone. If you can handle this stuff, if you have a medical condition, or if you're coming off of opiates, then you probably should be taking it. But for those of us who don't have opiate addiction and aren't in chronic pain or are taking this recreationally, and you're noticing problems, it's important that you get off of this stuff. I've lost about 10 years of my life to this stuff off and on, and it ruined my life in many ways. So that's why I'm so passionate about this topic. I'm not like out there raging, trying to, make it illegal or anything. I'm just sharing my experience, trying to help people who are struggling. And for those of you that are struggling and watching this right now, you need to take action, and you need to do it soon, because your own sanity depends on it. I know I don't post videos on here super often, but I'll be posting more here and there. Down the road, I want to get more into my personal story of addiction, especially with alcohol. I have a very, very rough past with alcohol, and I'd like to open up about that more. So if you like what you're seeing or hearing from me, be sure to subscribe, because I'll be sure to post more videos about addiction and recovery in the future. So if you have a question or comment, be sure to leave it down below. I don't always get back to everyone quickly. Like, I'm pretty busy. I work 2 jobs. I got a lot of family stuff going on. I travel. I'm going out of town this week, so I don't always get back to everybody quickly, but if someone has like a genuine question or concern, I'll always try to make sure to get back to them. So be sure to leave that down below. Alrighty, get clean out there, get off of this stuff, and have a good one.